Today we're covering a 2020 horror thriller movie called Getaway. The opening scene of the movie shows a body being dragged by an unidentified person. Just then, Tamara, a young lady, wakes up in her bed after having a nightmare. Up next, another unidentified person and two other people are seen digging a grave. One morning, Tamara takes a bath in her bathtub. Upon finishing, she listens to the news on the radio about a young woman who is missing. She then leaves her house for a girls' trip by the lake. There, Tamara meets Jerry, an admirer of Tamara and a sheriff's deputy, at the door. Jerry begs Tamara for another date, but she humbly refuses. She promises to call Jerry, and the duo says goodbye to each other. Tamara hits the road after her chat with Jerry and calls Maddie and Brooke, who are her friends, on the phone, informing them that she's on her way. Shortly afterward, Tamara's car runs out of fuel in the middle of the road. She parks beside the road to think of her next move. Moments later, a truck parks right behind Tamara's car. The bearded man, who goes by the name of Merv, comes out and asks Tamara what the problem is. Tamara tells him that she ran out of fuel. He tells her that he's willing to help if there's something in it for him. Tamara reconsiders Merv's condition for helping her. After an awkward silence, he acknowledges that he's only joking and goes over to his truck to get a keg of gas. Tamara fakes a call to her friends, telling them her location. Upon putting down the phone, Tamara looks outside her car window and sees Keith, Merv's brother. The brothers ask Tamara where she is headed. After she tells them, they suggest they all go have a party by the lake, but Tamara tells them her friends are waiting for her. Tamara thanks them for the gas and drives away. The brothers follow shortly. Up next, Tamara gets to the lake and goes looking for her friends. Just as Tamara arrives, Brooke goes to some boys to get shots of drinks from them. The boys ask Brooke where she will be later in the day, and she tells them that she and her friends will be at the bar in town. The boys promise to show up, and she leaves. Meanwhile, a pair of eyes stalk the girls from a distance as they have fun getting ready for the night inside their motel room. Tamara and her friends hear a noise from outside. The trio goes to investigate. They see a man walk by, which prompts them to turn off their lights. Now scared, they move slowly to the door, only to find out that it is Jerry at the door. Jerry brings Tamara a flower, and the duo has a chat before Jerry leaves. The girls tease Tamara about Jerry. A little while later, the girls get in their car and leave for the bar. Arriving at the bar, they order 3 shots of tequila, but the bartender collects no payment in return. Maddie goes to the restroom while her friends dance to a tune in the bar. Tamara leaves shortly to go check on Maddie in the restroom. Maddie sniffs a puff of a substance she got from a lady in the restroom and tells Tamara not to tell Brooke. Tamara and Maddie leave afterward. 2 men walk into the bar as the girls enjoy their night. They walk over to the bartender and order 3 vodkas with lime. The bartender tells them that he is out of lime. The unknown man tells the bartender to send the drinks to the girls. As he delivers the drink to the girls, they ask the bartender who their benefactor is. He looks at the bar table but can't see them again. The girls thank him and continue with their fun. While the girls dance, Tamara feels dizzy. She goes outside the bar and lies on a bench. Just then, 2 men come over. Later on, Tamara wakes up in the back of a truck. She comes down and goes under the truck. She then hears a male voice asking, "Where is she?" The men, whose faces are now revealed as Merv and Keith, along with her father, come over to the truck but can't find Tamara in the back. They search for Tamara and find her under the truck. She fights them off and escapes, running into the bush. She is knocked out just as she stops to check her phone. The next scene shows Tamara tied up in a stable. The father of the brothers tells her that the Lord has a plan for her. She threatens that they won't get away with what they are doing to her, but they reply by telling her they always do and that she's not their first victim. Tamara is told by the trio that their family has an obligation to the Lord, and it must be fulfilled. Tamara tells them that her family has their obligations too. She adds that she is from the pit of hell. Just then, she starts to have a seizure. She throws up on Keeb. Afterward, Keeb discusses what Tamara said with his brother and father, but they assure him nothing will happen. Inside the stable, Tamara activates her phone's voice assistant. She tells it to call Jerry, but as soon as Jerry picks up her call, the phone battery dies. Merv is outside the house, fantasizing about what to do to Tamara the following day. As the apartment's doors are locked, Merv assumes it's Keeb who locked them. He tells Keeb to stop with the prank. While concentrating on the locked doors, a human figure in white walks by him. Just then, Keeb opens the doors and tells Merv he didn't lock them. Merv tells Keeb to go get his truck keys. After collecting the keys, Merv goes to the truck and starts the engine. The female figure in white appears in front of his truck. As he starts the engine, Merv drives forward and runs the female figure over. Merv comes out of the truck to investigate but can't find anything. He leaves afterward. At the dining table, the trio prays as they are about to eat. Inside his room, their father opens a wooden box and takes out a woman's hair from the multiple locks he keeps inside. He holds the hair and begins to pleasure himself. While he is doing this, the door to his room opens slowly. He stands up furiously and goes to the living room, where his sons are watching TV. He assumes they were the ones who disturbed him and warns them not to repeat such behavior. The father goes back to his room and shouts for his sons to come over immediately. Upon entering, he shows them human bones scattered on his bed. Keeb reminds him of the curse Tamara mentioned. However, he assures him there's no curse and orders Keeb to clean the room. Merv and their father go over to Tamara, who is tied up, and ask her how she did it. Tamara, confused, asks them what they're talking about. The father slaps her. Just then, there is movement outside the stable. They go out to investigate, but the stable door shuts itself. They return to check on Tamara again before leaving for their apartment. Meanwhile, Jerry sits down to eat in his apartment and listens to Tamara's short voicemail, telling him she has been kidnapped by 3 men. He tries Tamara's cell repeatedly, but it goes to voicemail each time. Back in the stable, Keeb approaches Tamara and confesses that Merv and their father made him do some very bad things. He adds that their father told him all the girls sent to heaven by them are saved. Tamara asks him if he truly believes what he has been told. Tamara tells Keeb that she is not a witch. Immediately, Keeb sighs and says Tamara is an angel and eligible for their sacrifice. Later that night, as Merv sleeps, the woman in the white robe from earlier crawls over him and pleasures him. He wakes up to her screaming at him. Merv stands up and picks up his gun. He goes to their father's room, where he finds him facing the wall with writing on it, "Do you miss us now?" Keeb enters the room too. Their father acknowledges that Tamara is the devil and has sent back all the sacrificed girls to haunt them. The following morning, the trio goes to the stable and unties Tamara to prepare her for a ritual. She is placed in front of a bowl of water. The father asks her if she accepts God as her savior, but she gives no reply. They dip her head into the water, repeating the process 3 times. When asked the 3rd time, Tamara answers yes. Afterward, they take her back into the stable. On entering, the trio finds mysterious knots hanging inside. The father orders Keeb to burn the knots and prepare the hole. Keeb disagrees, claiming Tamara is not an angel and won't go to heaven after the sacrifice. Keeb's father forces him, and he obeys. In the next scene, Jerry is seen walking into the bar and asking the bartender questions about Tamara and the men from the other night. After getting no tangible lead, Jerry leaves. Back in the stable, Tamara unties herself while Keeb digs a hole. After freeing herself, Tamara looks through the stable doors but doesn't see Keeb. Just then, Keeb appears beside her. The duo argues about angels and demons. Tamara manipulates Keeb, who then terminates himself with a pitchfork, falling into the hole he dug. Next, Merv comes out of the house and chases Tamara into the woods. Moments later, their father wakes up inside the house and calls for his sons. He finds Keeb's body in the hole. Just then, the father hears weeping from the woods. He goes to investigate but gets knocked out when he sees 2 women in white robes and scary masks, who turn out to be Brooke and Maddie. Still running in the woods, Tamara knocks out Merv by hitting him in the head with a stone during a struggle. She drags Merv's body to the stable, where Brooke and Maddie wait for her with the father's body. Later that night, Jerry is seen driving on the highway, searching for Tamara. Meanwhile, the girls tie up Merv and his father. They wake the duo and reveal they've been monitoring them for a while. The girls toy with them, announcing they'll play a game called 16 Angels, representing the number of girls they kidnapped. They give the duo 16 seconds to untie themselves and escape. The father unties himself, leaving his son behind, but he is shot by the girls. Jerry hears the shot from a distance and calls for backup. Merv unties himself and tries to escape, but the girls shoot him too. Jerry arrives at the scene, and the group leaves. Sometime later, Maddie calls Brooke, who tells Tamara to check her email. Opening her inbox, Tamara finds a missing persons poster. She smiles at Maddie and says, "Girls trip." The movie ends, leaving us with the idea that the girls are now local vigilantes.